Welcome to the LNSAC National Symposium Advancing Integrity in College Sport. We come to you from the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. The topic? The Drake Group Education Fund National Awards.
Hello, everyone. On behalf of the Drake Group Education Fund's Board of Trustees, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us for the presentation of our annual National Leader Awards. First, let me say how excited I am to have Julie Sommer as our first executive director. A widely respected and accomplished attorney, I can't think of anyone more qualified to lead both the Drake Group and the Drake Group Education Fund, as these two nonprofit organizations tackle the most challenging issues in college sports. Julie understands the issues. She's a former world-ranked college swimmer, and like all of us serving the Drake organization, she loves and believes in the power of college sport to deliver its important developmental gifts to athletes through leadership, competitiveness, and an incredible work ethic. All of us also believe that college sport contributes to a vibrant campus community and provides an interface that helps alumni and friends remain involved in campus life. Indeed, developing a lifelong affinity with our alma maters, college sports plays a unique role in American higher education. The key is to make sure that our athletes receive a great education and we eliminate the practices that threaten the health and well-being of college athletes. Each of the award recipients we honor today has played a courageous role in protecting college athletes from race and sex discrimination, economic exploitation, and physical and mental abuse. So we begin with the announcement of the Drake Group Education Fund Making a Difference Award, honoring an individual who, through his or her voice, writings, or other public action, has demonstrated informed thought leadership in intercollegiate athletics toward the end of advancing integrity of athletics, emphasizing the primacy of educational objectives and/or insisting on responsible fiscal and ethical conduct of intercollegiate athletics as an extracurricular enterprise. Our 2023 recipient is the head coach of the University of South Carolina women's basketball team, Dawn Staley, whose persistent, consistent, and intentional public voice has made a generational impact on college sports culture and the general public. She has used the platform, as we heard this morning, to create, by her considerable personal coaching and athletic achievements, 2 Division I NCAA women's basketball championships, 7 Southeastern Conference regular season and tournament titles, a stellar 23-year college coaching career, and a 22-year all-star career as a college, USA national team, and WNBA athlete. These achievements have advanced the public's understanding of the importance of women's sports, the need for more women in the coaching profession, the importance of non-discrimination on the basis of sex and race, and the primacy of education and personal development in the lives of college athletes. Her personal integrity, combined with her extraordinarily thoughtful and purposeful voice, has demonstrated the power of a servant leader. We recognize the exemplary graduation rates for athletes who are fully prepared for the challenges that they face on and off the court. We admire her example as a fighter for the equal treatment of women's sports, coaches, and athletes, and we applaud her model behavior as a competitor, always challenging others to give their best effort and aspire to achieve the greater good. We applaud and recognize her life's work as a sportswoman and an educator. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate the winner of the 2023 Drake Making a Difference Award, the head women's basketball coach at the University of South Carolina, Dawn Staley. And Dawn has accepted her remarks via video.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to the Drake Group for naming me the Making a Difference award, and also thanks to Donna Prince for opening up the doors for me to do that. Her impact on women's basketball is far and wide. Things changed because of what she was able to capture on her phone. But for me, you know, I just try to do right by people. I want our game to continue to grow and grow in places in which people don't think it can grow. I am a product of being my mother's child. And the older I get, the more I'm like my mother. Now, I will say that growing up in her household as a youngster, I couldn't understand why she was so strict. I really couldn't understand why she had so many rules. But sitting here today, the reason why I'm so successful and the reason why the young people that are in our program are so successful is because of the rules that I grew up under my mother. So those are the same rules. They don't differ. Like I live by this motto. This is one of two mottos. The disciplined person can do anything. The disciplined person can do anything. And I have to preface that quote by saying, you could be disciplined in something that's not very good for you and be very good at it. But you can also be very disciplined to something that's positive and add more positivity to your life and be incredibly successful. And then my second motto is, you have to do what you don't want to do to get what you want. And it's so simple, but it applies to anything that you want to accomplish in life. Because when I talk to young people, I say, no matter what grade they're in, no matter what level, they could be in elementary school, they could be in high school, they could be in college. They all want to advance to the next thing. My players want to go to the WNBA. My players want to graduate. Well, they probably don't want to do on a daily basis what's required to be great at what they do. Like, who wants to go to class every day? But you got to go to class to graduate. Who wants to work out every day? Well, you have to work out every day in order for you to become a WNBA pro player or an Olympian. So these are very simple life models that I try to apply and also instill in the players that I coach up every day. So thank you for allowing me to receive this, making a difference. And I hope that me being a dream merchant for young people, this will add to giving me some credibility in knowing that if they believe in it, they themselves will also be making a difference in their lives and other people's lives. So thank you again.
Okay. Our next award is the Drake Group Education Fund National Public Service Award. The award honors elected public officials responsible for proposing legislation or policy changes that significantly improve the conduct of intercollegiate athletic programs, enhance the rights of college athletes, or otherwise protect their education, health, and safety. We recognize the Honorable Richard Blumenthal, Connecticut's United States Senator, and the Honorable Cory Booker, New Jersey's United States Senator, for co-sponsoring the College Athletes Bill of Rights. This bill and their strong voices have educated the American public and members of Congress about the failure of intercollegiate athletic programs to protect the rights of college athletes to engage, and outside employment related to the monetization of their names, images, and reputations. Achieve gender equity as mandated by Title IX. Permit transfer to other institutions of higher education without loss of athletic eligibility. Enjoy the same freedom of speech as other students. Receive proper medical care and athletic injury medical expense coverage, and rely on medical trust fund support for expenses related to term athletic program-related medical conditions, such as cognitive impairments resulting from brain trauma. The bill's provision also directs the Secretary of Health and Human Services to establish health, wellness, and safety standards for intercollegiate athletic programs, mandate the autonomous and unchallengeable authority of athletic trainers and physicians to determine medical management and return to play decisions. Guarantee of the right of college athletes to be represented by agents, group licensing entities, financial advisors, and attorneys when pursuing outside employment or endorsement contracts. This bill represents the strongest federal legislation to date that addresses college athletes' rights to educational outcomes. Now, as you may know, Senator Blumenthal was injured participating in an athletic activity last week. He was in a parade honoring the UConn men's basketball team, and another walker ran into him. And after completing the walk on a broken femur, he had surgery the next day and is unable to join us, but he has videotaped his acceptance remarks. Unfortunately, Senator Booker can't accept the award today because, as you know, Congress has returned from recess, and between committee assignments and leadership commitments is preventing him from being here. But we would like to congratulate Senators Booker and Blumenthal, and we have a video. Oh, we have a video from Senator Booker now. Congratulations.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cory Booker, and I'm sorry I couldn't be with you there today, but I'm so grateful and honored, in fact, to be with Drake Group's National Public Service team and to get their award alongside my incredible friend and really just a light in the Senate, Senator Blumenthal. Thank you to Julie, and congratulations on your election to lead the Drake Group. And I also want to thank Andrew, Donna, Alan, and really the whole team for their strong partnership with me and Senator Blumenthal. You all have done a lot for us over the years through this partnership. Your tireless advocacy on behalf of college athletes is something that inspires me. And a big congratulations to the others being honored today. Coach Dawn Staley at the University of South Carolina, whose team had a fantastic run this year all the way to the Final Four, and Nick Askew, who's built an incredible swim program at Howard, the only HBCU swim program in the country and the reigning Northeast Conference champs. And Evan Gerke, such a talented reporter at Indiana Daily Student. And I will tell you, Senator Blumenthal, you and I are in really good company. We are definitely not the brightest stars in that constellation. So I was a college athlete, and it really was one of the greatest gifts to my life. I am where I am today because of my experiences on the gridiron. I will treasure these experiences, and they help forge within me a lot of the ideas about leadership and teamwork that I use and utilize every single day. It opened my eyes, though, also to some deep systemic injustices in the NCAA systems, a system that today really continues to often put profits above athletes. So that's what really motivated me to team up with Senator Blumenthal to do something about it. And in our bill, the College Athletes Bill of Rights, we create there these enforceable evidence-based health standards and safety standards. We establish a medical trust fund that athletes can use to cover the cost of out-of-pocket medical expenses. And in that Bill of Rights, we make sure that athletes should receive their scholarship for as many years as it takes for them to complete their undergraduate degree. And we establish federal safeguards to protect college athletes' ability to benefit from their name, image, and likeness. As you know, there are a number of different legislative proposals out there from Democrats and Republicans in the House and in the Senate. The good thing, and I think this is a good thing, is that it is reflective of the high level of interest in addressing these issues. But the details really matter here. We've got to get this right, and we'll need your help. You may know that in 1905, then President Teddy Roosevelt invited a group of ballers, football players, leaders from the football world to the White House to discuss rule changes to make the game safer for the players. The meeting was held amid an increase in player deaths and calls from some to end the sport altogether. But President Roosevelt, who was deeply concerned about the injuries and brutality on the field, started the meeting by saying, "Because I believe in the game, I want to do all I can to save it." I played ball at Stanford, as I said. It helped make me the person I am today, as I said. And I believe in the game. I believe in college sports. I know what it did for me, and I know what it can do for others and has done for them. Together, we can save it and make the whole system better, fairer, more just, and safer for athletes today and into the future. Thank you for honoring me. I want to honor you. I want you to enjoy the rest of this day together, and I want you to know the work we are doing is vitally important. I look forward to continuing that work together.
Hi, I'm Richard Blumenthal, United States Senator from Connecticut, and I am really honored to join Senator Booker in being honored with the National Public Service Award. I am really sorry I can't be with you in person, but I want to thank the Drake Group, as well as the students, college athletes, administrators, and others attending today's event. You all know better than anyone the importance of protecting our student athletes and prioritizing their health and safety, their economic rights, their educational futures. Over the last few years, Senator Booker and I have held several hearings and discussions with student athletes. And what we've heard in each of these occasions are vivid, graphic, deeply disturbing accounts about how the NCAA and universities are putting profits ahead of students. Over 500,000 college athletes across the country pour their blood, sweat, and tears into this $18 billion industry, and protections have been lacking. This is about fundamental fairness and justice, which is why we introduced the College Athletes Bill of Rights. Our comprehensive legislation takes common sense steps to address inequities in the industry. The College Athletes Bill of Rights establishes a medical trust fund, so athletes have coverage for costs of any out-of-pocket medical expenses, and they keep their scholarships. Our bill also requires universities and colleges to be more transparent about their compliance with the law, safety standards, and wellness. It establishes a commission on college athletes, so more are made aware. And last, as a result of this panel discussion, I think there will be additional good outcomes and opportunities. The numbers are troubling. 70% of all athletes don't finish in 6 years. Only 55% of Black athletes receive their degrees in that time. These efforts, along with NIL rules that will enable students, international students on visas, to benefit from NIL, are vital We need to do better. As long as we put these student athletes first, the future of college athletics is bright. I want to thank you, everyone here, the administrators, students, the Drake Group in particular, for your advocacy, your steadfast caring about the future of college athletes. Thank you.
Okay, next I would like to ask Alan Sack to join me on stage to present the Drake Hero Award. Come on. I'm gonna stand right there. So for those of you who don't know, Alan Sack is the co-founder of the Drake Group. And as you probably know, the symposium has been named in his honor, recognizing his national collegiate athletic reform efforts and his unshakable commitment to good scholarship, dependence on research-supported data, and love for the potential of competitive athletics to deliver profound developmental experiences to those who play. He's a professor emeritus at the University of New Haven, Pompey College of Business, and a former defensive end on the University of Notre Dame's 1966 national championship team. Right now, I would like to ask Nicholas Askew, the recipient of the Drake Hero Award, to join Alan on stage. I'd like you to stand right here next to Dr. Sack, please. Coach Askew is the director of swimming and diving and tennis at Howard University. Coach Askew's Howard University men's and women's swimming and diving program at Howard University is the nation's only NCAA Division I historically Black college and university with a swimming and diving team and a program that has set 170 school records during his tenure. As director of the men's and women's tennis, your teams have consistently achieved all academic team and individual scholar athlete honors. As youth sports coach, you have shaped the aspirations and empowered the development of young Black and underserved athletes in the sport of tennis. As a professional coach who has worked with top athletes around the globe, you have nurtured top-ranked district, state, and national level athletes in swimming and tennis. Your consistent youth sport program service has been extraordinary, and your exemplary emphasis on the use of sport to teach athletes the critical life skills of leadership, accountability, discipline, and patience has been nationally recognized. And equally as important, these efforts have increased the number of Black and other athletes of color entering and participating in sports in which they are significantly underrepresented, thereby challenging stereotypes of the interests and abilities of other Black and other athletes of color. Your efforts have helped to demonstrate that Black athletes do have interest in and can achieve in sports like swimming, diving, and tennis. The achievements of your team have created public notoriety, thereby raising important questions about the failure of intercollegiate athletics to address the underrepresentation of Black athletes in college sports. As one of only 4 Black head coaches in men's swimming and 5 in women's swimming among all 3 NCAA competitive divisions, and one of only 32 Black head coaches in men's tennis and 37 in women's tennis Among all three NCAA competitive divisions, you are an important role model for Black and other athletes and coaches of color to follow in your footsteps. The Drake Hero Award recognizes your work as that of an extraordinary individual who, through hard work and persistent effort, has created a significant impact within the world of sports reform, and in doing so, has enhanced the integrity of intercollegiate athletes. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the 2023 Drake Hero Award recipient, Coach Nicholas Askew. Would you like to say a few words for yourself? Thank you.
Good afternoon. We're gonna try that again. I am a coach. Good afternoon. That sounds so much better. I know you just enjoyed a great meal. So I know the energy in here, that digestive process slows things down. But I want to first say thank you to the Drake Group, to Dr. Sack and this amazing symposium. To be honored here is nothing short than amazing. You could have not have told me as a young man growing up in Eastern North Carolina, where the barbecue is better, by the way, that I would be standing before you today to receive this most prestigious honor. Those types of things for me, and I'm sure for most coaches and individuals in general, don't cross your mind. But as I sit here, it's surreal. I've built my entire life on the shoulders of so many others, of other coaches, teachers, supporters, family, my parents, my older brothers, my cousins who aren't really my cousins, my extended family, my in-laws, most importantly, my wife, my Howard sweetheart, Christy Askew. I was gonna pause until you clapped anyway, so you might as well clap a little bit louder for her. Come on, give it up to my wife. Our three beautiful children, Alina, Aviana, and Alea. And I also stand on the shoulders of my athletes. I often say, I stand at the front, and when times are good, and times are really good right now, I get to stand in front. But it's really because of the belief they have in me and the belief in what we're doing in a system or in an organization that's bigger than any single one of us, including myself. And so I have to take a moment to acknowledge all of their efforts and their accomplishments and just their belief in that we can do great things. So to my athletes, who I have three representatives here, each of whom have been captains in our program. So Rachel Fontroy, Miguel Davis Jr., and Madison Freeland. I know in my heart that there's so much more work to be done, but I also know that we have made great strides. And I know that with the Drake Group being such a working mechanism in creating a better space for people and athletes, especially in marginalized spaces, we are going to continue to make strides and make a difference. And for us as a program, as Howard University Swim and Dive, and for Howard University Tennis, we are grateful to have been in the spotlight this past year. But each of you know that that is not something that came overnight, as I'm sure you can agree. That is a process that hardworking people have continued to commit every single day in being able to achieve what was first thought to be unachievable. When we started this season, my coaching staff and I, we thought about how can we create the energy. And we started with probably the most influential, the biggest swim meet ever to be held in history, the Battle at the Burr. That meet set the tone for the rest of the season. It was the meet that grabbed the attention of Sports Illustrated and what put us on the daily cover. And from there, it spread like wildfire. And then for our team to close out the season, women's team moving up 3 spaces from 7th to 4th from the previous year, and for our men's team to capture the conference title for the first time in over 30 years was nothing short of incredible. And I say that all to say that this time last year, I had the opportunity to speak in front of close to 3,000 of my peers in the coaching arena for swimming and diving, and only 3 of which were of color. Not good. There is so much we can do, and we each share a role and a responsibility, an obligation to making a difference, to making an impact. And through hard work, through passion and commitment, it can be achieved. So I thank you, and I accept this award on behalf of all who came before me. Thank you.
Okay, so I've asked Alan to stay on stage so we can present the 2023 Drake Journalism Prize. But first, I would like to acknowledge the University of New Haven's platinum sponsorship of the symposium in honor of Alan, who served on the faculty of UNH for over 4 decades. We thank you for the university's support of Alan's and the Drake Group's work. I would now like to ask Evan Gerke to join Alan on stage. You stay right next to him. Okay. The $1,000 prize recognizes the print, video, or multimedia work of a graduate or undergraduate college student journalist for investigative reporting on intercollegiate athletics. Evan Gerke, as a reporter for the Indiana Daily Student, wrote, "The program is doomed. Players say Indiana volleyball coach Steve Arid created a culture of fear." Mr. Gerke's reporting on Indiana University's volleyball team sheds light on the critical role of coaches in protecting the emotional well-being of student athletes. Mr. Gerke's deeply reported article, former players spoke in detail about the ways in which their coach allegedly abused his position of power by making inappropriate comments to players and discounting mental health concerns. Players transfer out of the volleyball program and some quit the sport. His reporting elevated the question of how do we ensure that college athletes receive the support that they deserve. The complete article it appears online, and using your cameras on your phone through the QR code, you can get a chance to read it. Please congratulate our 2023 Student Journalism Prize winner for investigative reporting on intercollegiate athletics, Evan Gerke. Would you like to say a few words, please? We'll take this on you. That's so cool. Evan?
Those big checks are fun. I just wanted to start by thanking the Drake Group for this award. Writing stories like this, doing journalism in general, we never do it for the award, we do it to report. That doesn't mean that it doesn't feel good when your work is recognized. I also just want to thank the Drake Group for bringing me out here, especially Donna for her help getting me out here. Being a senior with only a few weeks left of college now, this is probably my favorite excuse for missing class so far. Want to thank some other people as well. My editor, Helen Rummel, who without this story would never have been published. She did so much help in getting this story to where it was, to how good and how strong the reporting was, and just making sure that I stayed sane throughout the 5-month reporting process that I went through. Also, Kate Sharon, who designed the build out for the story. They had the picture up there a second ago. I also recommend if you look at it, it's animated, it's beautiful, and brings a lot to just how the story looks online. And finally, I mostly wanted to thank all the sources and the people who talked to me for the story. I have a post-it note on my wall in my room. It was something that I heard on a podcast once, and it really stuck with me. It says, "Earn their trust and honor it." And it's been kind of my reporting adage for the last couple of years after hearing that. These athletes that talked to me, they didn't have to come forward. They didn't have to speak about the situations, but they wanted their story told. And they came to me because they trusted me to tell the story properly. And I took that seriously. I took that with a lot of responsibility. And I hope I was able to say that I did that. They went through a lot in their time at Indiana under Coach Aird. And they hadn't had anyone who could bring their story forward. They were able to use social media, something that obviously is newer and wouldn't be able to have been done in the past. There's a big TikTok that went viral, but to be able to come to me and ask me to tell their story, I was very lucky that they were also willing to talk. And this is their story. This belongs to them. The award belongs to them as much as it does to me. So thank you to all of them, and thank you to everyone here.
Okay, this ends our awards program, but given the late ending, we do ask that you remain seated. Our last panel of the day will begin as soon as the panelists are seated, and I'd like to call them up to the stage right now. Thank you, everyone.